Welcome back, everybody, to Ain and Reviews. It's Muhammad and Adrian, and today we're going to review the film The Accountant 2. And this film stars Ben Affleck as Christian Wolff, John Bernthal as Braxton, Cynthia Addai Robinson as Mary Beth Medina, J.K. Simmons as Ray King, Allison Robertson as Justine, Daniela Pineda as Anais, and Robert Morgan as Burke. But this film is about forensic accountant Christian Wolff teams up with his estranged but highly lethal brother to track down mysterious assassins. So what did you get from the film The Accountant 2?
No, I think the action in the movie was good. Some things that Accountant, the first one, was known for. It definitely had the this is the sequel straight to DVD vibes for me. Um, and I could have done without all the relationship stuff. It made it feel like what are we watching? What is this?
So like the middle of the film, like the
The
brothers,
beginning
like,
and the no, that's fine. But the accountant himself, like the speed
oh,
dating thing, and
oh, okay.
they focused a lot on the savant, thing with his personality and why he is the way he is. No one was asking for that.
Yeah, that was
I don't
kind
think
of
that was
boring.
necessary. Yeah,
I would say like the first 15 to 20 minutes was kind of boring. I'm like, yeah, this isn't doing it for me.
I would agree.
And he seems similar but also different than what he was in the first film. I feel like he
Yep.
expressed himself more in this film. Like he laughed more. He was
Yeah.
seemed like he told a little bit more jokes. In the first film, like he just had one straight face. Like it was
Yep.
like there was no other emotion. And I think that's probably more true to the character that he's trying to play
Mm,
rather than what he did in this film. Not saying he did bad or anything. I
sure.
I think he just showed his emotions more in this film compared to the first one.
Yeah. Which I don't know if it was necessary.
I guess that comes with the whole dating stuff, but
Right.
yeah, that was unnecessary. I mean, it was pretty forgettable, that whole thing.
Yeah. It was waste of time.
Yeah. Um, but what did kind of draw me in was the kind of brotherly arguments and how they
Sure.
hadn't been like together in a while. Um, Christian Christian he doesn't really call. He's kind of like a loner. He really
Hmm.
doesn't talk to any of his family, which the only family that he has is John Berthal.
Right.
Um, and his brother, he misses him. He's like, you never call, you never. Um, you told me that you were going to meet me, but you never did. But I think it's also just part of his personality.
Yeah.
I, I don't. Did they ever say exactly what he had? Like, did he have like
No, they
Asperger's
they
or?
no they kept using the savant. So I forget the three words they used, but they never directly described him. But I think what they were going for was a form of autism,
Yeah,
the
do you remember?
social awkwardness and things. Yeah.
Yeah, do you remember the night clerk?
Yes. Yeah.
So like that. he
Yeah.
he probably should have been more like that
I
because
would agree. Yeah.
that guy didn't show any emotions, but he did show more emotions in this film.
Yeah.
um, but yeah, I remember viewing that movie. I mean, that movie was fine, nothing special.
Right.
Um, but yeah, those two characters are very similar. But with the accountant, um, it is it kind of did run into the run of the mill spy action thriller type of film.
Yeah.
That's
Towards the end, that's what we were getting.
yeah. I was really less interested with that ending scene. mean, I didn't feel as connected to it, um,
Sure.
mainly because there was so many things that they were trying to juggle and reveal out of nowhere. So I didn't feel as connected to it, even though, it was for a good reason, what they did, but it didn't. I feel like it was kind of a run of the mill by the end.
Yeah.
But before we get into the story, I wanted to talk about the recent release of the Nintendo Switch 2.
Hmm.
And I will say that, I did get one. I pre-ordered it, got it from Walmart, and they delivered it like super early, like 6:30 in the morning.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
so yeah, I was surprised by that. But the box is surprisingly small. Uh, I think it's smaller than the original Switch's box. I mean, I don't have that other one, the other box, but it's only like it's in a square. But I was like, is this the actual thing? This
Oh,
looks too small. But everything's in there. The screen is much bigger. The controllers are bigger. The display looks really nice. Um, the games, or I mean, I only got one new game. The Mario
hmm.
Kart World, which looks really nice. I mean, I didn't play the last Mario Kart, so um, I don't know how that game was, but the game
Gotcha.
plays very nice. But I mean, do you plan to get one at some point?
I don't think I get a new one. The one I have is still brand new. I I still have the box. I do.
I
Um, so
had it for a while, the box.
yeah, no, we are setting up one of the rooms in our house is upstairs. We've had a projector for a couple of years, and this week I just decided to try and hook it up. So we're gonna try and gotta get another HDMI cord, but try to do put the switch on that, and that way you have it connect to the projector. You have 120 inches of screen. That'd be pretty cool. And I think we'll play it more with its own dedicated viewing area.
Oh yeah, it's really nice. That'd be really nice. I mean, I think you probably should get some more games than the ones that you
Yeah,
have.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, the games aren't really getting any cheaper, but
I wonder if I can like look into like maybe there might be some used, I don't know, eBay or something. Maybe find me a
oh,
deal.
well, yeah, eBay is definitely the way to go. Now a lot of them get bought up pretty quickly if they are for a low price, but
Mm,
they do have some deals on there, like people selling them for like 20, $30, or um, in some cases maybe 15.
hmm,
But those deals are kind of hard to find. You just gotta
yeah,
just be scrolling through and just happen to find it. But with comparing the Switch 2 to the first one looks like a cheap toy compared to this new one.
really.
Like
How so?
the way that it feels, a little bit thicker, the new one. Um, it's it feels more comfortable to hold. The controllers are bigger. So, I mean, I have big hands, so the
Hmm.
first one is hard. Like, let's say that you take just one controller off the side and you're trying to press those two buttons on top. Those were
Hmm.
always hard for me to press. But with this new one, those buttons are much bigger. Like I would say, I mean, in a different shape, but probably the size of the analog stick. A little bit smaller, but somewhere around that size. But you know, that looks really good. But for the most part, a lot of the stuff is the same on there. As far as like the display, like how it
Mm,
looks. Um, I was a little bit disappointed by that. I mean, I was hoping that I could customize the home screen,
yeah.
but no, it's pretty much the same. Um, Now there are some new games that are exclusive, or at least coming up, that are going to be exclusive to the Switch 2, which is really nice. And of course, they have some of those upgrade packs. But
Right.
um, I mean, overall, I'm definitely still happy with the purchase, but I think they could have definitely done some things differently that could have
Hmm.
helped. I mean, it's definitely a much more powerful console. I mean, you can tell a difference playing it handheld compared to the first one because you're just like, whoa, this screen looks amazing.
Hmm.
Like it looks really good. I mean, and it's a nice size. I mean, it doesn't look too
Yeah.
big. It's you know really the perfect size. But I mean, I have to send a picture to you. But
Hmm.
it looks really nice. I mean, super nice. And then the way I don't know if you've watched any of the um, previews or trailers or anything for it, but the way that the controllers connect is by magnets. So you just
Yes,
put it on the side. There's no sliding. You just pretty much just put it close to it and it just snaps in.
I
It
have seen
makes
that.
the same sound as when like on the commercial with the like the
Hmm. Yeah, they
same
really
sound.
emphasize that.
Yeah, yeah, because it actually does happen in real life. But I mean, it's really nice. It's a really nice console. Um, can't wait to see some of the other games that come out. I'm not really huge into racing games, but this game, seemed like it was worth it, or at least for the bundle. I don't know about
Hmm.
$80,
Huh.
but because I got the bundle, so it was just 50 or 50 more dollars to the original console. But there also is this other game called Split Fiction, which is on multiple other consoles or every other um not next gen but current gen console.
Mhm.
It's a game that you can only play two player. Like you can't. It's not a single player game at all. But if you have a console like a current gen console, what you can do, only one person needs the game. You send a friend request or like a friend download, and that person can play that same game, and they don't have to be in the same room as you with that game. And you can both play at the same time. Well, I mean, the game is designed for
Oh,
you both to play at the same time. They can be on a different console, so it's cross-gen. So it's a really
okay.
nice game.
Hmm.
Well, I mean, from the looks of it, it looks like a
Yeah.
nice game. I don't have it, but I plan to get it, and it doesn't cost $80. It's actually only 50, which isn't bad.
Hmm.
Um,
Yes.
but I mean, if you do now, I don't think you can play with the Switch one, but if you do decide to get the Nintendo Switch 2 someday, I would definitely recommend playing that game eventually.
Hmm.
I mean, of course, you wouldn't have to buy it. I could just share it. But yeah, if you do. And I also want to do game chat at some point. I mean, I don't have anybody that has the console yet outside of
Hmm.
myself, so I really can't use it. But have you seen how that is?
No, I don't think so.
So game chat pretty much you can show off what you're playing with your friends. Like there's like a little um I guess shared screen on the bottom of your screen where you can share what you're playing, whether it's in the same game or in a different game. And you can also,
Hmm.
speak and talk over the built-in mic on the game system.
Hmm.
But yeah, game chat, you can't just talk to somebody just random. You actually have to
Hmm.
be friends with the person
Hmm.
to do the game chat. I guess it makes it a little bit more secure because you know who it is. But
All right.
that's definitely something that I want to do whenever somebody else has a Switch too. But
Okay.
we can get into the story, which
Hmm.
is a lot in this movie. I mean, there's a lot of different things that happen. I don't even know if I can even remember it all.
It- I mean, yeah, there's a lot that happened, but I think basically the point of the movie is really to set up why the accountant would even be interested in the whole story we're watching. But we're dealing with Mexican traffickers, human traffickers, and the government is trying to track down um, a specific person after a former agent, a former director, is killed in the field. They think maybe one of the people he put in jail is behind it. They do some digging. There's a person of interest. This person of interest can't be found, but the accountant can find them. So we do get to see some of the background on the accountant as far as like that voice from the first movie, how he's getting information, and how he's able to do what he does is kind of shown. Um, and as far as who the bad person is and how they're connected and the traffickers and the money laundering. It's all a bunch of doesn't matter. They all get killed, kind of movie. It really doesn't matter. Um,
No.
it's the bad guys are the tan white people, and the accountant is socially awkward. That's really all you need to know.
That's one way to wrap it up. I mean,
Yeah, that's yeah.
there's some interesting points in there here and there. I thought whenever they were looking for that lady who was a person of interest at the
Hmm.
club where the first agent was killed, J.K. Simmons,
Hmm.
um, the way that they moved the camera, so she was walking in different places but hiding her face,
Yes.
and she knew where the cameras were. But there was this random lady who was taking a picture, a selfie of herself.
Right.
So they used that selfie. Well, really, they found that lady where she
Yep.
lived,
Yep.
hacked her computer, and then went through all the pictures to find that same picture that she took to
Yep.
see that lady who was a person of interest from afar to match her face, which I thought was very interesting. I mean, wow. Um, I wonder if they
Yeah.
actually have a way of doing that.
I mean, they made it sound like it's all possible, so I believe it. I always say, if the FBI wants you, they'd already have you. Nothing's a secret
And it also
nowadays.
reminded me of that time. You remember with the whole hacker thing?
Oh God, hackers following me. Brian, get out.
That was probably
Take a
one of
picture of the license plate.
that was probably one of the worst summers that I experienced for
Sitting
multiple
in Cameron's
reasons.
parking lot. Gotta fix this computer, this virus. Why now?
They still didn't fix it after after sending my computer into the computer people. Nope, they still didn't fix the problem.
They said, what did you do? You deleted the mainframe. Like it's just too clean. It's too clean.
The mainframe doesn't exist anymore.
It
This thing,
delete the operating system.
this thing is just a brick. Like it's dead weight.
Mm-mm. Some files came up with some weird names. That's a virus. Gotta clean that up.
But it definitely made me think back to that because they were actually controlling the woman's computer remotely.
Mm-hmm.
You know, trying to distract her in different ways, making the doorbell ring,
Mm-hmm.
turning up the volume on the TV, and in that time, the little bits of seconds that they had, they would go through all of her pictures on her screen, clicking and stuff. And I think all through with her camera being on, like
Mm-hmm.
the little
Mm-hmm. Right.
shade that is normally covered with the camera.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now, and
So
I will say, now some of that was unnecessary. Because if you can log into their account, you can just pull up the photos online. You don't gotta go to her computer to do that. So they're just showing off. Really. They're just like, look what we can do.
but the special agent woman who took over for J.K. Simmons, she couldn't handle it. She was like, "This
Right.
is enough. Like, stop this. This is illegal." Well,
It's
you've
illegal
already done a whole
activity.
bunch of illegal stuff before this.
Right. Now you're uncomfortable? There's a man in your trunk. Forgot about that, didn't you?
Yeah, surprised he wasn't dead.
Right. Yeah. And they never got back to that, I think.
Yeah, I mean, how was she after pretty much kidnapping this guy, able to like have the upper hand, like trying to give him a deal
Yeah,
when
the amount of red tape and ways in which this be thrown out because of the illegal things that she did to get information. This is pure movie magic.
but that loose end was tied up pretty quickly because he was shot in the head from afar.
It's true. But the fact that she was shot at and still on the case, no, no.
Well, she definitely should have died, especially towards the end
Yeah,
when
should have.
the what do they call them? Something savant.
I can't remember the word. Um, it's not selective trauma. Is that it? Trauma savant? No.
Something like that. But I've seen so many times. I guess it could happen. I don't know. But when people get hit in the head, car wreck, uh,
Mm-hmm.
traumatic brain injury, anything like that, their head is pretty messed up. Now, they can
Yeah,
bounce back, but they don't gain some super powered thing that they never even knew beforehand.
be cool if they did.
But that's what happens in this movie.
Yeah, yeah, because superheroes among us.
Like you get a hit to the head, now you gain a superpower. Yeah, that's the pretty impossible. I mean,
Right.
I've never seen that happen, and I deal with a lot of people who have cognitive issues, and they normally have problems with the simplest things, like just knowing where they are.
Yeah.
But not saying that they can't bounce back. A lot of times, giving them time and working with them, they can, pretty much gain mostly everything back that they had because the brain has what's called neuroplasticity. Able to rework the brain or rewire it to um, do things that it was doing before, not adding on new things that it never learned before.
Right.
Um, but yeah, that happens. I didn't really get that story with that lady. Her name was Anais, I think. Well, they didn't call her that. I can't remember what they called her.
Um, Anais.
Oh,
Um,
maybe I was saying it wrong.
she was the agent, right?
She was the person of interest, the one that they were looking for.
Edith. That
Okay,
we found out her name's Edith.
yeah,
Um, she's really interesting. I mean, she's one of these trauma savant people, super smart, loves conflicts, um, and does well, I guess.
yeah. She, I guess, was attacked, and she was trying to escape, and then ended up being in a car wreck while trying to escape, and she lost her memory, and the doctor worked with her, um, and I honestly didn't get how he was just so persuaded when the agent came up to her or came up to him saying, "Please, I need
Mm,
this information," and then she said neuro something, handed him a card, and he was sold.
yeah.
You know, putting his license on the line. I don't.
Hey, sometimes that's what it takes.
I, would, I don't know why that sold him, but it did. It was like some magic
Yeah.
words.
And then you have the other side stories or beats, with the brother. Um, I guess he has his own issues he's dealing with, trying to figure out how to stay calm with everything going on. And he wants his dog, but it's too early to get the dog because the dog is still a newborn or a puppy. Um, all things that I gave the characters some depth, but I don't know if it was necessary.
Well, I mean, I did like some of the back and forth banter between him and his brother.
Sure.
They were trying, or at least John Bernthal, he felt like he was left out because
Mm,
he wanted that relationship with his brother, but his brother is socially awkward because of his condition. They don't really
right.
specify what he has, but I'm thinking it's Asperger's, and
Hmm.
he doesn't really connect with people that well. Um, even though he was trying to get all these women through
Right.
a dating profile thing, optimizing his dating profile. Um, had women just lined up to see him,
Yeah.
but he failed miserably once they actually met him.
Yeah. No personality whatsoever.
What about the dancing?
It was interesting. Him getting out of his shell, I guess. Um, but still very much composed and ready to work at a moment's notice, which may be necessary. I don't know.
Yeah. Um, it kind of reminded me of you. Do you remember Concussion
Yes.
and the doctor? How he had that scene. Well, it really was Will Smith.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't think that really happened.
No.
Like they were just trying to add on some stuff that was just like this is unnecessary.
Yeah.
But the lady who ended up gaining these uh, combat powers after the
Hmm.
head trauma, she had a son who they thought might have been, captured or kidnapped.
Hmm.
So he's the one that they end up saving at the end. And really, at that point, I kind of got uninterested in the movie
Yeah.
because it was like, this is kind of turning into what I've seen before. A whole bunch of shooting, some fighting.
Right.
Um, yeah, there's
A
nothing.
version of Batman that I wish he was.
Hey, he was well. So you like this type of demeanor, this Batman?
Well, not necessarily the awkwardness, but even his fighting skills and everything, I think was better here than it was in Batman v Superman.
You think he's just smarter?
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think that's mostly on the direction, the director in this case, for
Yeah.
like Zack Snyder. But yeah, the last of that Batman was seen in The Flash, which is a terrible movie.
Mm.
They killed him off at that point. And I don't know. I don't even know if that movie even makes sense in the context of how they had all those different characters from the past just showing up.
Hmm.
But we can go ahead and give this one a rating. So the lowest rating is trash, middle is background noise, and the highest is a banger. So how would you rate the film, The Accountant 2?
Definitely it's the background noise right in the middle. I mean, it's kind of boring.
Yeah, I can definitely agree. It is kind of boring. Um, it doesn't really move the needle a whole bunch. I mean, I think some of the best parts are some of the back and forth between the brothers and the spy technology that they have, facial recognition, being able to remotely get into other people's computers and use that picture to match the face of somebody in the background.
Mm.
Um, Impressive technology. Um, I'm sure it has to exist in some. Oh yeah, but my rating is a mid-level background noise. I mean, it's right there in
Mm.
the middle. I don't think it's bad. I mean, it's not great, but I mean, I've seen a movie like this before, so it's uh, it's nothing special. And I think the first one is better, even though I don't remember that much about it, because it came out almost about 10 years ago, I think.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was that old. I think they made reference to when that job was. I think they said it was like 8 years in their time. Um, but yeah, I was like, wow, I guess it has been a while since I watched this.
Yeah, and I don't think anybody was asking for another one, so they just keep making. Yeah, so it came out in 2016, so 9 years. Yeah, I didn't realize some of these people, like some of the same people, are in the first one, literally.
Mm.
Even though I remember it as being good, I don't remember a lot
Hmm.
about it.
And me either. And I've seen it a couple times.
And the first one is actually rated worse than the second one. But fan reviews, at least for the first one, they really like it. But do you have any other thoughts about The Accountant 2?
No, I mean, you definitely put it on. I mean, it's on Prime, so likely already paying for it anyway. Might as well watch some of the original content. And they come up in Splash all the time, so wait, gosh. Mixed up memories. I'm looking at a screen with dolphins on it as I'm talking. Like, gosh. And my brain is mush. No, the movie is literally background noise. It is good as far as like the fighting scenes and whatnot. Um, the storyline with the brother, it's something different, but doesn't nothing new here.
Yeah, nothing new to see here. I mean, there's always at least about 3 or 4 of these movies a year that are like this. And it's hard to see any that really stand out because I don't think the fighting is really getting any better unless you just, I don't know, get really brutal or something, blow off somebody's
Mm,
head. But yeah, with a lot of these movies, the fighting isn't anything new.
mhm,
But it had a little bit of good story points in there, but nothing that brings a whole bunch new to the table. But I think that does it for us at A&M Reviews. Thank you everybody for listening. Make sure to check out our other platforms, including YouTube, Instagram, and X, which are all linked in the description. And if you want to send us a message, click the message link to get featured on the show. And thanks for listening.